Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are doing something that I've always wanted to do in a long time, which was reacting to some battle stations that people have posted on Reddit. Now, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a Discord where you guys can share your setups or setups you want me to react to, because I think I'm definitely going to turn this into a series. Guys, let's get into these reactions, and we'll be rating by style, theme, and overall if it's suitable for any streaming, gaming, or work. So let's go through this right now. Okay, so first we got this amazing setup. Now, honestly, I'm new to these reactions, so I'm not sure how to do the recording just yet, but this is how we're going to do it. So this first setup, which is actually very interesting, they have the nice RGB lighting, or red lighting, and blue lighting. They have, I forgot what you call these figurines here, but I know they are very expensive. I don't know how much they cost. All I know is they are very popular. But I like this setup. It's pretty clean. There's not much cables in the way. They got their doggo underneath the desk, which is actually quite funny. You also got a nice clock. I've seen these clocks a lot with a lot of setups. I wouldn't mind getting something like this for my own setup. But yeah, I just realized there is so many mice here. They have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mice on this shelf, and they have the 10th one on their desk. I don't know why you need so many mice unless you're collecting them, but it's a lot. And it looks like they have their Steam Deck down here, which is pretty clean, and they got the Elgato microphone. So if I had to say, base rating for this setup is probably around about 7 out of 10. This is a clean setup. It's usable. I'll just say that it's a bit too much on the sides, and the desk isn't fully cleaned. And I mean, look at this shelf here on the right. It's not the cleanest, but it's still a good setup. Next, we have this beautiful setup. Wow, this is actually a clean setup. I've always seen these RGB light strips on the edges of their panels, and this is actually really clean. Now, the title does say my first setup. I don't know if this is their first setup, but geez, they've gone all out. I see they do have some cable management at the bottom, which is actually really useful to have, especially if you are someone that doesn't like loose cables everywhere. So this guy did a good job. They have 3 monitors, which is nice. They have a nice plain keyboard, nice desk. I think it might be a standing desk as well. I'll definitely say this is a good setup, and the fact that they don't go too overboard just gives me a good idea of what they're doing. So this setup, I'll have to give a 8 out of 10 rating. It's a good setup. It's a good setup. Next, we got Dream UW 4090. So I'm guessing they have a RTX 4090, which you can see in their PC case. And they have a mixture of the peripherals. They have a Corsair keyboard, and they also have a Razer mouse. I'm not sure what monitor this is. If you do know what it is, let me know in the comments below. But this is a decent setup. It's a clean setup. Also, you can't see much. I can see tons of cables coming out of the monitor. If I had to give this a rating, I'll say 6.5 out of 10, because it's a decent setup, just we can't see much of their setup. Next, we got Simple Wall PC. This is a clean one. I've seen some creators do this where they put their PC on the wall, and it's both like a decoration or display, which I think is a very smart idea. But it's a nice setup with the PC on the wall. They have some good components there. They have a Razer mouse, which is wired. I'll definitely say they did a good job hiding the wires, and 2 leading up to go to the PC. But obviously the desk is pretty old, but it still works. It's still functional. I'll say this is a good rating, at least 7 out of 10, because there's so much space to work with, and I mean, you can add more peripherals and more stuff to the setup. Next, we got Flexi Spot Odin standing desk, custom oak board, 3 times Apple 5K monitors. Okay, so they got the extreme setup here. Now let's see. They got iPad on a separate display. I'll count that as a monitor. They got 3 of the Apple 5K displays. Those are extremely expensive. I mean, I think they are about $3,000 at least. They got a MacBook over here. I'm not sure if it's the Pro or the Air. I could probably find out here on the side because they have tons of boxes there. But I have to say, this is a good setup. This is a more of a workstation than a gaming station, but the fact that it's a standing desk as well, it's actually really well done. But as long as they can sort this shelf out in the background, I'll definitely say this is a good setup. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 as well, because it's a nice setup, but it's a lot in the background of the shelving. Next, we got a creamy setup. That's the title of this, and it's actually a pretty clean setup. Now, I can definitely say that I noticed the monitor is slanted, so I'm not sure how close they are to their PC or their monitor for their gaming. But I mean, it's a clean setup. There's not much cables. It's very clean. Maybe a coaster. I mean, I have a F1 themed coaster. Even something like this, just like a oak type of coaster, would make the setup look a lot better. But it's a nice setup. They got a vertical monitor. Also, if they do streaming, that's good for looking at your chat. And you got plant, which gives it more life. I'll give this an 8 out of 10 because it's a very overall workable space. Next, we got the 7900 XTX ITX Office Refresh. Now, this is a clean setup, and I see with the title, they are using the Dream GPU that I want to have for my own gaming PC. But it looks like they are a fan of racing, because they do have the Monaco track layout as a wallpaper, and I'm not sure which track this is. Let me know in the comments below if you do know. But I like this little shelf mount. I'm not too sure what the name is. I've seen them a lot with a lot of gaming setups, and this is a clean thing to have. Now, they do have 2 monitors, a nice webcam. It looks like the latest Logitech webcam as well. I just noticed there's a mini fridge. That's actually pretty clean. I'll have to say, this is probably one of the best setups I've seen so far without RGB around, because obviously RGB can make the setup not look as good as it used to be, or as good it could be without the effects of RGB. But this is a good setup. I'll have to give it a 8.5 out of 10. It's a clean setup, and they have a really well organized setup. Now, this is actually a nice filling setup. I like it. It has a nice mood to it. Looks like they have something like an Acer gaming laptop on their left, which obviously powers or connected to the monitor. They have a nice little mount for the wall, a nice mountain. I've seen some of these before, especially off like cars. I like that type of style. It's not too bad. It's nice to add to this type of setup. The light bar by the monitor, I know a lot of people say they're really useful for your setup. I honestly don't understand why people have it, but it makes the vibe for this setup really clean. And I mean, they're really well organized. They're making sure everything's displayed properly. I'll give this a good 8 out of 10 because it's a clean setup, nice mood, and it just feels very modern as well. Next, we got a really bright setup, which the person titled it "New Update to My BattleStation." Now, it's hard to really judge because the RGB and the shake of the camera made it so blurry, but I can see they didn't really hide the cables well. There is a shiny cabinet on the left hand side. It's a lot of RGB. I feel like there could be a streamer because they do have a webcam. I'll have to say this is going to have to be a 6 out of 10 because it's just hard to judge with it being so blurry and just too much light, making it hard to really judge. Next, we have got the Focal Silliest and Hi-Fi Man edition delivered. Okay, so this is actually a really nice setup. It's really cozy and has a warm feel to it. Now obviously, with it being autumn, it's a bit of a fall/spring setup type of feel. I like the sunshine effect with the lighting in the background. It gives it more of a character to it. The wall panels are actually really nice. It gives them a nice, homey feel. And the wallpapers are nice. They have what appears to be a stream deck. They have some audio controls here. They have a nice headset. 2 headsets, I just realized. This is a nice setup. I'll have to give it at least 7.5 out of 10. But it's a good setup. Next, we got any tips besides the cables. Now, this is a definition of a gamer, really. So they have a TV, which I'm guessing they're going to use for mostly gaming. They got another monitor on the right hand side. Only thing is, it's not an official L desk, but it's 2 desks put together. They have a lot of cables which obviously can be managed with some trays underneath the desks. The PC customized with stickers. That's what most gamers do, really. The mic arm is actually not too bad. This mic looks familiar. I might have something similar to this mic. It looks like the Dixon was it UD20, I think. I think that's the model. But this is a nice setup. I just realized this is a third monitor. Okay, so they obviously like Call of Duty. They like Minecraft. I can't tell which game this is. But yeah, this is a good setup. It's a decent setup. Obviously, if you're still new to doing your BattleStation, I'll give this a good solid 6.5 out of 10. It's still a good setup. They got some RGB. Obviously, if it was taken a bit in a darker environment, maybe the vote for the setup would have been higher, but still not a bad setup. Next, we got I'm practically broke every second of the day, so it's taken me a while, but I think I'm finally happy with my BattleStation. This started in 2018. Okay, so let's see. They have a nice anime feel. I see that. I'm not sure what this show is. I am clueless when it comes to anime. I am still new to it. But they have 3 monitors. I'm not sure. Okay, that's a mic arm. They got a decent setup. It's not too bad. And I mean, if I had to be honest, not everyone's going to have the top of the line setup. So I'll give this a good rating of 6 out of 10. It's not too bad of a setup. Now next we're going to look at probably the final setup for this video, which is IKEA corner desk, which is the way this person titled it. And they have a nice setup actually. So they got a nice styling for some posters from games, such as this could be Legend of Zelda, I'm not too sure, in the middle. They got a nice Futurama wallpaper, which is actually really well. I don't know how they made it to match the setup. It's actually really well done. Obviously, I think they have a photo of them and their spouse, so that's a good thing that they blurred it out. But a nice vertical monitor for obviously chat for streams, and obviously for your Spotify for your streams. I can see they're actually doing that because it looks like they have chat or Discord open here. They have a nice water cooled. I'm not sure if that's a PC because I see there's 2 PCs. There's one on the bottom and one on the top. They got a little bonsai tree. They got a Futurama statue here. A nice wooden top desk. I always like this design when it comes to some desk setups. And it's overall really nice, well cleaned. And I mean, there's not much cables you can see besides the cables going from the keyboard, the PC case. That's the only cables I can really see. So I'll give this probably the highest rating so far in this video, which is 9 out of 10. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today's video. I enjoyed recording this video. It's actually pretty fun to record reactions. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to carry on reacting to more PC setups. And let me know again down below if you want me to start a Discord where you guys can suggest some setups by sharing it on the Discord or even uploading your very own. I want to make this a series and I'll probably do more reactions like this very soon. But otherwise, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next video. Be safe as always. See you guys next one. Bye.